Let's break down my predictions for some of the top free agents for the Patriots that will be coming up this offseason. There are going to be a lot of guys maybe want to test out the waters, test out the market, see what else is out there for them. Or a couple of Patriots players that may want to talk and see that we have the most cap space in the NFL. What can I get to stay here and really see how this Mike Vrabel era is going to start? Before we hop into that, I have one quick request here for you guys. If the Patriots make a move, we make a video. You guys have actually met my cats, Beans and Luna, because I do at-home videos when breaking news happens. I mean, we really have no off days here. So if you guys want a 110% devoted channel to you and the Patriots, go on ahead, hit that sub button for me. Help us get to 22,000. We currently have 21,654 subscribers. Let's see if we can get 346 on this video alone. We have numerous free agents set to hit the market that currently play for the Patriots on offense and on defense. If I was a player, I would personally rather stay in New England and see how this Mike Vrabel era really does play out. But also in the same breath, you only have a limited amount of years that you are active and a good player in the league. So you want to try and get the most out of your time in terms of money. So when we do take a look here at Patriots free agents and really what we're dealing with and who could possibly leave us by next season, there are plenty of names to discuss. Obviously, your Joanthan Jones, your Jacoby Brissett, Deatrich Wise, Austin Hooper, which a lot of you guys have become a fan favorite of. Goes all the way down to the kicker of Joey Slye, and then your Jeremiah Farms, your Ben Browns, and other players that really shouldn't have been starters this last year. But unfortunately, with injuries, you had to play a couple of them. So we're going to break down player by player, mainly the starters and who can actually be an asset for us moving forward. And I'll give you guys my predictions on whether I think they should keep or cut. Let's start with a veteran, Joanthan Jones. I have teetered back and forth on this for quite some time. Joanthan Jones, one thing about him this season is that he looked a little bit washed to me. And I don't blame him because a lot of offenses got to really have whatever they want in our secondary despite Gonzo Island. So with Joanthan Jones pushing in his 30s, one of the oldest players in the Patriots right now, I do think that it would be beneficial for the Patriots to maybe try and work out somewhat of a one-year deal with Jones. I think you keep him for the locker room presence. I think that you keep him for a veteran in the secondary in case you do happen to have some injuries. You know a guy that knows a system. So when you are looking at veterans, it becomes a little bit tougher to try and release them because you don't know where they're going to land because they're pushing them in age. I think the Patriots should work out a one-year deal with them, maybe not rely on him as much as a starter, but more so as a bench player. And speaking of a bench player, we come back to Jacoby Brissett, who was quarterback 2 from week 6 and on, except for that 1 week when Drake May did have a concussion. But thankfully, in week 18, we got to see Joe Milton absolutely slang the rock and show us that he actually mimics more of a Drake May style of quarterback, more so than Jacoby Brissett does. I do think that Progressive probably felt this a little bit earlier than we did, but I think he's going to be a backup for the rest of his career. So I think he'll try and go look elsewhere. There are a lot of quarterback needy teams in the NFL right now, to the point where we're talking about possibly even trading Joe Milton because there are teams that can have some benefits from having him on his bench. I think Brissett's a good locker room guy. I don't think he's a good quarterback anymore. So I see him signing elsewhere to really hone in on the money. Let's talk about defense real quick. Deatrich Wise Jr. He stepped up big time here for the Patriots this last year because of numerous injuries on the defensive side of the football in your Christian Barmores and your Jawan Bentleys. And I really did grow to like a guy like Deatrich Wise Jr. playing for the Patriots. But I know that I don't think he was very satisfied in New England. So I do think that I would like to end up keeping Deatrich Wise. And I'm going to give a shout out to Nick Lopez making our graphics a little bit fun here. It'd be wise to keep Wise. With a nice wink there as he's letting me know that that is now on the internet, but it's okay. Deatrich Wise, I do think they should try to offer him a one-year deal as well with Joanthan Jones, just because he hasn't gotten to really experience a great New England defense in this new era. He was a part of the top 10 defense that we saw 2 seasons ago, but now let's give him some reward. And I think he'd fit really well in with Terrell Williams. So let me know what you guys think. Deatrich Wise, do we keep him? Do we need him? Type K for keep, type P for pass. I'm going to go with keep, but if Wise wants to go see what else is out there, I could easily see him trying to find another contract. I'm going to hope Austin Hooper doesn't find another contract. I've really, really enjoyed watching Hooper, not so much as a pass catcher, although he is a glorified 10-yard plus type of pass catcher. I love his blocking. On Ramondre Stevenson's longest runs, I sat there, I watched the film. It's because Austin Hooper was paving the way in the gaps to open up that lane for Stevenson to explode. He has become a dual threat as a tight end. And I would really, 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 really like to keep Austin Hooper, but I do think he will end up signing elsewhere. I think that if there's one thing the tight end was able to do, it was showcase his skills, and I could see him catching a nice little 2-3 year deal maybe, and I don't think the Patriots are going to offer Hooper a better deal than Henry because he has been a top 2 receiver for us, pass catcher I should say, in the last 2 seasons. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Hooper, but I do hope the Patriots keep him. And we have more to discuss here coming up on the back half of the show. But first, let me tell you about our sponsor, and that is Game Time. If you guys are looking to get tickets as Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and let me tell you, men, there is nothing more that means to your girlfriend, your wife, your fiance, or maybe a friend than quality time. Take it from me. I think tickets to a nice event is unpriceable, I think is what I'm trying to say here. Rare? I don't know. The whole point is use Game Time. Why? Because it's the lowest price guaranteed, and you guys will know your total price up front. No surprise. Hidden fees at checkout. So if you guys want to go on ahead and see the Boston Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots later this year, or any other team or concert that you can find in Boston, go on ahead and download the Game Time app. When you guys get to the app, go on ahead and create an account. And then use promo code CHATSPORTS. This is going to give you guys $20 off your first time buying tickets while terms apply. Again, download the Game Time app. Use promo code CHATSPORTS. This will give you guys $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? It is game time. Be sure to take advantage of it and download it today. Mr. Okorafor. I started the first game of the season, but I didn't start the second game, so I legitimately quit the team. Okay, that screams retirement more than anything I have ever seen in the NFL. That is up there with Antonio Brown ripping off his jersey and leaving the Buccaneers Stadium. I think that Okorafor is going to retire. I'm surprised he hasn't announced anything just yet. I can't imagine he quit after week 1 and has been practicing at an NFL level the entire time. I think if he doesn't retire, I know for a fact you shouldn't re-sign him because he just showed you what kind of player he's going to be. Daniel Ekuale really stepped in huge for the Patriots on the 3-4 front because of Devon Godchild's injuries and Christian Barmore dealing with those blood clots. I think Ekuale did exactly what he was supposed to do, fill a role. 2 tackles, 1 sack, but nothing really eye-popping out of him on the defense. So I do think that Ekuale will maybe spend the next year or so trying to find his footing with a team, and I think ultimately he'll sign elsewhere. He has now realized that Godchild, Barmore, Keon White, those are probably more of the future for the Patriots, the 3-4 front, so he'll probably try and chase another contract for another team. JaMycal Hasty, really didn't get to see a ton of Hasty, mainly in special teams and punt returns. I do think Hasty will also sign elsewhere. I think that now that you've seen what Antonio Gibson can do as your backup role, and they really more so leaned on Gibson the last couple of games than they did Ramondre Stevenson. So I think Hasty will start to find his footing elsewhere in the backfield for another opponent in the NFL, which is unfortunate. I do think he is one of those shifty, explosive types of running backs, but overall, just don't think he serves a purpose primarily for the Patriots anymore moving forward. Speaking of special teams, Joey Slye, the guy that beat out Chad Ryland, and Ryland ultimately popped off for the Cardinals this season in terms of field goals and extra points. Joey Slye was very steady for the first part of the season. After that, he really struggled with 35-yard kicks, extra point attempts, and don't even get me started on the 50-yard field goals that he tried to complete. I'm not sure if the Patriots want to go to battle for a guy like Slye. If he wants to go and test the waters and still keep the Patriots on a line, I think you just cut it. I don't think you really need to have a bidding war with Joey Slye. Hell, maybe even a 7th-rounder kicker or something to maybe give him some kind of competition would be better for the veteran moving forward. Oshane Ximines, I thought he did fantastic in early in the season, unfortunately being placed on IR in a season-ending injury. He didn't get to really showcase everything that he was available for in the preseason. I think Ox was a great locker room guy, a great practice guy. A lot of defensive players had nothing but great things to say about him, but maybe he realizes that he'll still be a backup option this year for the Patriots. So I think Ox will end up signing elsewhere, which does suck. I thought he would have been a really good depth piece for us, especially with all the injuries that we sustained this year. But he came from the Giants in free agency. It's not going to be one of those things where I probably want to go to bat for him moving forward. But if the Patriots do make a move and they re-sign or waive any of these guys, I'll talk about it right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. So if you guys haven't already, go on ahead, hit that sub button for me, and help us get to 22,000.